Warm greetings from the High 10. It is Everyday Shenanigans on this Friday, February 21st, 2020. I want to bring you the said information pertaining to Evelyn Mae Boswell, 15-month-old child missing out of Sullivan County, Tennessee. And this is pertaining to an interview that the mother gave to the news. If you need verification for the story, please log on to WCYB5. The reporter was asking her various questions pertaining to the disappearance of her child, last time she saw her child, said information, and basically the young lady has relayed, in this interview that she knows who has the child and didn't involve the police because she felt like the person would run off. The reporter asked her about having support from family. She says her grandmother has been supporting her. She asked her, has she talked to the baby daddy who lives in Louisiana? She stated that she had not. So, mercy. Very, very odd. Also that came into play was the fact that she made a point of saying that she trusted the person who had the child because the reporter asked her about when did you realize the trust was broken. She said she realized the trust was broken when this first started, which in my opinion, this week? I don't know. It makes no sense to me, that comment. Okay? But basically she's saying the trust was broken when all this first started. She wants them to bring her child back because the lady was asking her what she had been thinking, and she wants her child back. She asked her, what do you want the community to do? And she just said, basically, just to help look for her child and give leads. She basically told her about, the reporter asked her about her family not being involved and knowing in the court proceedings, because as I told you, she went to court today, and basically she's saying so much was going on. She didn't have time to tell them. By the time court started, she wasn't able to talk to her grandmother, but naturally the grandmother would have shown up to court had she known about the court hearing. The reporter asked her, well, how do you feel about not having anyone to confide in? And she says, well, the detectives have been very nice. The police have been very nice and helpful, and this Sergeant Price has been helpful to her. The reporter asked her basically about the baby, the attributes of the child, and she said she's a sweet baby. She has dimples on her face. She looks like her dad. She has her eyes. The reporter basically said, well, you do have pretty eyes. She was describing the child being a friendly baby. She likes to kiss other people and give people kisses on the cheek. She asked her about what would she do if she got reunited with her child, Miss Evelyn. And she said she would hug her. She misses her smell, her laugh, everything. I just want to hold her. So basically the reporter was saying, I know you're missing your daughter. Are you concerned for her safety? And she says, yes, she is. Very concerned now since they can't find the person in the said car who had the child. The reporter asked her if they will find Evelyn, and she says, yes, I do. I feel confident that they will find my child. Asked her if she was hopeful. She said, yes. The police are doing everything they can to bring my baby home, and she is adamant that they will. The reporter also asked her, does she have any regrets about not calling anyone, the police, authorities? And she said, yes. Well, sort of. She said, I know when everything went down, the person would have disappeared, which they have. And they will find them, and they will bring my baby back to me. The reporter asked her, is she fully confident? She said yes. She asked her if she could go back. Would she do anything different? And she said yes. I would have called from the first day, called the police. I guess the reporter also, she didn't say guess, but the reporter basically asks about the people who have the child. And she basically saying she didn't call because she figured they would disappear when notifying the police, which allegedly that's what they have done. These said people, who they are, I do not know. The reporter asked her, when did you realize they disappeared? And she said she can't tell anyone that information because it's an ongoing investigation. Do you have anything you'd like to say to Evelyn? And she says, I just want her to know that I will find her. Do you have anything to say to the public? The reporter asked. And she said, no, she did not. 5 minutes in. Shenanigans. Now for my commentary about the said interview that the mother, Megan Boswell, gave to the public. I'm trying to understand what the hell is going on with this storyline. The fact that she hasn't had any contact with the baby father down in Louisiana, who is stationed in Louisiana, active military, I assume. The fact that the grandmother didn't show up to court. What do you mean you didn't have information? Well, yes, we know that this is a case that just jumped off, but naturally you would get a court hearing. If it was an emergency court hearing, you would notify someone, is what I'm trying to say. To say, hey, I need your support. Please come to court. It's going to be tomorrow. It's going to be Friday, whatever. Because you got to remember, all this jumped off on Tuesday. So the state got involved on Tuesday. So if they set a court date for today, I'm assuming she knew no later than yesterday that she had a court appearance. So why didn't you tell your grandmother? Since that's your backbone, that's the one person that's supporting you. Why didn't you call her? Why didn't your grandfather show up? Since he's allegedly the one who went to DHS, CPS to notify them that the child was missing. I find that very, very odd. Is this a grand setup? All this back and forth. Because watching this interview, she cried a little bit, but I'm wondering how genuine that is. Because with the said information that was given, something is not right. Something is amiss with this storyline, and I will tell you, something is just really odd to me. The fact that she knows who took the child, the fact that these people had the child, and you're saying once you notified them that the child was missing, you notified the people that the child is missing, then they left. That makes no sense. They have your child. I go to you to say what? I'm coming to get my child. You went to them to get your child, and they told you what? I'm not going to give you the child back. Then you say, well, I'm calling the police and the authorities. And then they say, well, I'm taking off. Yet they have Sullivan County tags. So that means they live there. They reside there. They pay bills there. They pay rent there. Come on with all this. Seriously. I usually don't give my opinion in the beginning of a disappearance of a child or adult. But when I start hearing stuff that don't make no sense, don't add up, I give my commentary. I give my opinion. And right now, something is wrong with this story. Because she won't even tell the reporter when she realized the child was missing, whatever. Something about that doesn't make any sense. And when she was talking, right near the end of the interview, when this came up, this question, it's like a pause. It's like you could tell it's a stumble. She knows she's saying stuff that don't make no sense because it doesn't make any sense. Because what you have to remember is that this all jumped out from people saying they never saw the kid. Now we're getting conflicting information 3 days in that the child was seen December 10th, 11th by a babysitter. So, who actually had the kid? Okay? Why would these people take off with your kid? If this happened in December that you went to approach the people about getting your kid, and they said, nah, I ain't going to take your kid. And then you said even then, well, I'm going to call the law. They took off. Still, why would you not have notified the police if it happened in December? That would be very suspicious. Because we already know, had you went in December to say, hey, Susie Q been keeping my kid. I went over there. She wouldn't open the door. Wouldn't answer the phone. Blah, blah, blah. I told her I'm going to call the law. Then she stopped talking to me. All you have to do is go to the authorities and say, hey, they've been keeping my kid, babysitting my kid, or I've been leaving my kid over there, or she been watching my child for a while, or she been standing there because I don't got nowhere to stay. Woo, woo, woo. Whatever the arrangement was, the law would have went directly to that person, unannounced, and they would have had to hand the kid over. Okay. Very suspicious. I feel like she acts as if there's an ulterior motive that these people had her kid. Because why would the said person run off with your child knowing that is not their kid? You go ask for your baby, they would give you the child back. why would they then run off? They couldn't run off while you're standing there because you're standing there. You're knocking on the door. They let you in. You say, hey, I'm coming to get my kid. Where are they going to go? Right there. They're going to fight you. They're going to put you out because you say, I come to get my kid. Do y'all see where I'm going with this? Because it looks like she left her child with some people. Perhaps they had a said arrangement. Perhaps she changed her mind, went to go get her kid, called to say, I'm coming to get the kid, and then all hell broke loose. Now the people have taken off with her baby, which is the stupidest thing, because if you don't have anything in writing for her to say you're going to keep the kid for 5 days, 10 days, 2 months, whatever, you know the child don't belong to you. You know you didn't give birth to the child. Give the damn baby back. I do believe an arrangement was made with whomever has the kid. And when questions arose, when the law got involved, which was here recently, because I don't think the law was involved months ago. I don't think so. That's just my opinion. Could be wrong. The people fled. But why would they flee? Why would they flee, as I state, with local Tennessee, Sullivan County tags, when 9 times out of 10 they live here, reside here, in this state, paying bills? Who just packs up and go on the run with a damn baby that don't belong to them and pay bills somewhere in a house? 9 times out of 10 they're renting, or they live, or they own the home. You see where I'm going with this? That's why all this buffoonery is suspicious to me, because it doesn't make any sense. She said she left. A babysitter claimed the baby was last seen December 10th, 11. So is this the same babysitter that took off with the child that they're looking for in the BMW? Because the police are looking for a BMW owner. Yet they got information from an alleged sitter that the child was last seen December 10th and December 10th and 11th. So are the police looking for the alleged babysitter? Which I know that doesn't make any sense, because they got information from an alleged sitter. So the sitter can't be the people in the BMW, because they're looking for the BMW, right? So how could you, one, get information if it was the sitter who drove the BMW? Then that means you'd be talking to him, you'd have access to her. So I don't think the sitter is the people that they're looking for in the BMW. This story makes no sense to me. And I'm trying to be dignified in my commentary, but when I smell a rat, I bring it on the 411. The ending of this interview is suspect as hell. The fact that she said, when I went to them, when all went down, that's when they fled. And I knew they would. How would you know they would flee? That's your child. Why would a stranger or somebody that you know who has your child flee because you went to them or word got back to them that the child has been missing, not been seen? It makes no sense. Because this is what you always have to remember about a story. It has to have a beginning. And that's where you start, as the beginning. They're saying, the law is saying, the grandfather's the one who has not seen the child. So he and others, perhaps, did not see the child in the past 2 months. Let's just go back all the way to November. If it's true, what she's saying makes no sense. Because now it's like she's trying to say, well, okay, I left the baby with somebody, and then when all this broke down about the Amber Alert, woo, they fled. But we already know that only transpired this week. So what are you saying? These people had your baby back in December, November, and what? You allowed these people to keep your kid. And you never thought about going to get your kid. And it only came to fruition when the grandfather went to the state. And they went looking to do a welfare check and realized you didn't have your kid. And then an Amber Alert was issued. And something they saw or didn't see or hear was the reason for the Amber Alert to be issued. None of this makes any sense, this story. Because let me tell you something. Common sense. If she went to the people in December, whoever had her child, and she wanted to get her child, see her child, they didn't have the baby, wouldn't open the door, whatever, all you had to do was call 911. That would have been, this story would have been over with, done, kaput. So that's why I say this story is suspicious, because reports are that she fell off the grid. These are rumors. She wouldn't talk to nobody. She met somebody new and she went on her separate way. Child hadn't been seen. Now this on and off boyfriend saying he never saw a kid. So one would have to ask themselves, who is she talking about that has the child? And why didn't she seem too concerned about the child? It's only now that the Amber Alert has been issued because someone was concerned that they hadn't seen the child, that now you're saying, oh, when they found out, they took off. But that makes no sense. Why would somebody take off with your baby when they know it is not their child? As I state, even if she had an agreement with this said person or persons, keep my baby for a while. Watch my baby for a while. I'll be back on the 15th. I'll be back in a month. I'll be back in 2 weeks. They knew it wasn't their child. They don't have anything legal in writing that she gave them the child. Why would they not return the child to her? Let her see the child and or take off with her baby. And the fact that she allegedly told this young guy, Mr. Wood, Hunter Wood, that the baby was in Louisiana. Then he's talking about broken arms and falling out beds, crazy stuff. But yet, where's the child at the time? Down there. So when did you ever get the child back? Did the child stay down there and he never brought the child back? What the hell is going on with these people? What is the truth? Did the child ever go to Louisiana with the father who was on leave from the military? Did he bring the child back? What is this mess about broken arms and all that? Does somebody have the child? Did she let somebody keep her child for a while she got on her feet, this and that? And as I state, where does she live? Because one story now is that there was a babysitter who last saw the child. Now she's saying she know who's got the child, but they can't find the child. They're looking for him. Who's just going to go on the run with a baby that don't belong to him? Just think about that for a second. I'm keeping it 100. Who would run off with a child knowing they do not have no documentation to have legal custody of the child? And if you approach them, Miss Megan, in December about wanting your baby back, I came to pick up my baby. If they were allegedly babysitting, how in the hell would they not give you your baby back? Who just gonna keep your baby without you saying, where my baby, let me in? The fact she said they ignored her phone calls. Well, when was that? December or this week? Let's see what's suspicious, everybody that's woke and following and paying attention. The timeline. They said she fell off the grid in December. Baby wasn't seen in December, November. And now Amber Alert is issued in February. And you want to try to tie in these mystery people with this baby. And they, poof, disappeared with a baby in February because of an Amber Alert that was issued on a child that did not belong to them. You know damn well that don't make no sense. And I got a funky feeling the baby may not be coming back, because what if these people don't exist? What if this is a grand setup? What if this is just a form of manipulation, manipulating the law, the public, to go duck, duck, goose, running around looking for a baby that they won't find, nor will they find the people who allegedly took the people, because perhaps they don't exist. Sullivan County is a small part of the world. I know all about up through there, Johnston City, all of that, okay? People talk. People talk. This is the South. People talk. Then I'm telling you, the first time you went to see about your child, whether it was a babysitter or you had an arrangement for your child to live with somebody, and you wanted to get your baby back, whatever, that would have hit the fan. Because all you would have had to do was go to the law and say, she been keeping my baby a day or two, whatever. She won't open the door. She won't answer her phone. They'd have been on her Johnny on the spot, Johnny on the rice. Something's amiss with this Megan Boswell. And frankly, I don't know if I trust anybody pertaining to this storyline, because as I tell you all, we don't know these people. We don't know anything about them. And people can spin a web about anything. And when people are in cahoots with each other, they will lie for one another. So as not, that person can go down in flames, and them too, if they are complicit in a crime. I'm praying that this child is found. Miss Evelyn May Boswell. But I can tell you at this point I am leery because of the timeline and the fact that no one issued an Amber Alert months ago when they didn't see the baby and didn't see her or the child. Why didn't you go ask someone to check on her back in November and December? And we would surely have an answer by now. Like and share, drop your comments below. And this is Everyday Shenanigans. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.